You're listening to the Shalom Sports Podcast with Jack and Gerald. Here's your host, Jack Myers and Gerald Hoover.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the Shalom Sports Podcast with Jack and Gerald. I'm one of the hosts, Gerald Hoover. I'm joined here by seventh grader here at Shalom, Jack Myers. How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how young you are.
Yeah.
I hear all these comments about you and compliments, and I tell them you're a seventh grader, and they can't believe it. So It's pretty exciting. So we're happy to be on the podcast today, Season 2, Episode 11. And again, following our similar format as in the past, we will talk about the previous games since our last podcast that have happened on the hardwood here at Shalom on the basketball court, and as well as upcoming games here for the Flames at all the different levels, middle school and high school, boys and girls. So let's get to it, Jack.
Yep. So the middle school girls are currently 9-1 and 5-0 in the MDCC. They're currently first place in the MBCC.
And on a 6-game winning streak. They're playing really well now.
Yeah.
Coach Alan Moore, he's got his girls playing some ball and hooping it up, and it's pretty fun to watch.
So they played at Fayette Meadow, and they won 35-12. Claire Moore led all scorers with 8 points. Hannah Seitz and Harper Adams each had 6 points each. And then at Faith Christian Academy, they won 24-3. Chloe led all scorers with 6 points, and Quinn Stanley had 5 points. And then versus Broadford, and Quinn Stanley had 14 points.
Wow.
4 3-pointers.
Oh, yeah, she was draining them.
I have never seen girls shoot 3-pointers more than Quinn Stanley at the middle school level. At the varsity level, they shoot threes.
She does a nice job.
Yeah.
The other year we had Annie Moore on the team, and she was really good at shooting threes too. But Quinn's right there with her. She does. She has a nice stroke.
And Harper Adams had 8 points that game as well. So they have 5 games coming up in like a week. So
I mean, this is even major. Like
more
not
than
even
the NBA.
I was gonna say this is even tougher than NBA schedule.
NBA have like 3 or 4 a week. So
5 games in 7 days.
Yeah, Flames Frenzy really helps that. Like
it does. I'm
excited for the 5 games.
Flames Frenzy is awesome. And we invite everybody. So we're doing our podcast here on Friday afternoon, January 26th. And even though we have home games tonight against Faith Christian Academy, tomorrow, Saturday, January 27th, full and exciting day here. I think we got 7 games, 6 or 7 games. We got a pancake breakfast going on, some open houses for pre-K and kindergarten. Like, it's a full day here.
It's a full day.
It's pretty exciting. So, Jack, give us the schedule for the middle school girls coming up here so our fans can mark that down on their calendars and attend these games.
After school today, they play at home. At 3:30, Faith Christian Academy. Tomorrow, home for the Flames Frenzy. They play Frederick Warriors at 12 at 12 noon.
High noon.
Yep. And Monday they play CBCS at 3:30 home. And Tuesday, January 30th, they play St. Joseph Parish School at 4:30. Do you know if that's home?
That's a home game.
That's at home.
Yep.
And then on Thursday they play at Heritage Academy at 4 p.m. And Heritage is 5-1 in the MDCC. But it's confusing because Shalom beat Heritage 36-6, and then they're the second best team.
And that was their only loss of the season. So you never know. Maybe they didn't have a player or two on the team that night due to maybe sickness or something else.
Yeah, you never know, but
but that's kind of crazy.
That's kind of crazy.
But even though 5 games in 7 days, 4 of the 5 are at home, so that kind of plays into our favor. So there's not a lot of travel miles in that stretch. But again, a marathon of games, not only for our middle school girls, but for all the teams, as we will talk about here coming up. But the exciting thing is Coach Moore, man, he's got his girls playing great right now. And so that's exciting to see. And just to see how, we're a couple weeks away. It's hard to believe how far into the season we are, Jack. We're, 3 weeks maybe or so away from championship weekend for middle school. It's kind of sad.
It's really sad.
Going so fast. But, we're going to enjoy it while it lasts. And it's been some great basketball here and lots of games coming up. So that's our middle school girls. Now we're going to flip over to the middle school boys. Jack, your team.
Our team,
Yeah, you guys are doing well as well. 13-2. That's a pretty good record. 5-1 in the MDC. Just suffered your first loss this past week.
Broadford, they got James Hare.
Yeah.
I don't know.
6'2"?
6'2", 6'3". I don't know how.
He looks like he's 6'8" out there.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to play against him next time. Just stop the transition points because they got a lot of transition points, and that led to easy buckets for them.
Yeah,
and it would have been a lot closer game for us if we would have if we would have made our shots like all around, and then we weren't shooting well that game, and then if we would have stopped their transition, because
guys were a little off that night.
They would just sneak down the court, and then they'd 45. James Hare would get the ball and just laser it down the court. So
yeah,
we didn't. And when nobody can like jump up when he has the ball over his head.
Yeah, he doesn't have any obstructions between him and those cutting players in the transition game. And they had some. I think there were 2 quick point guards on that team, and one would go down each side. And I mean, they were sprinting, getting out ahead of you. But I'm sure Coach Roseman will come up with a good plan if you guys see them in the playoffs, which will be because you've already played them twice.
Yeah.
So you split in the regular season, but unfortunately for you guys, they beat you by more points than you beat them. So they probably hold the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Which you never know. There's still a lot of games to go yet, so anything can happen.
Corbin, it's crazy. He had 34 points in that game, and it's hard to make up when when we beat them. Corbin had 34, so.
He still had 20, though, I think.
Yeah, he had 20 the next one.
Which isn't too shabby, but it's not 34.
Yeah, but the 34 game, he was, like, making every single shot.
Yeah.
This one, he took a lot more attempts this game.
So we got a little bit ahead of ourselves, though, Jack. We went right into the Broad Fording game. We had 2 games before that game since our last podcast. So what happened in those games?
Well, the New Life, we beat 48-20, and no one scored in the double digits. I think Corbin was the leading scorer with 8, but contributions from every player.
Yeah, which I think is fine. Yeah. That's nice. Like, you'd rather have even scoring across the board than like one guy that does all your scoring, because you get a night where he's off, and I think the team really struggles. So it's nice to get contributions from every player there, and not having double-digit score. That's okay, and you still scored 48 points. So that tells you how distributed and deep you guys are on the court. So, and then you had one other game before the Broad Fording game.
Faith Christian Academy. I was not there for this game, so I can't tell you any
Okay. You were sick last week.
Yeah, I was sick, so.
That's too bad. We're glad you're back.
Yeah, we won 55-28. Corbin had 18 points and Trey had 10 points. So
yeah, the Wenger cousins.
Yeah, Faith. I've heard that Faith was on we were started off really, really cold, and then Faith was winning, and then we came back, and then
you took control of the game.
Yeah, so all these teams, I think it's gonna be a close I think us and Broadfording we're the top dogs in our league for the middle school boys level. But I think Grace Academy, Heritage Academy, Faith Academy, those teams are gonna fight for the.
Yeah, it's going to be a competitive
it's going to be a
division.
competitive playoffs.
And it's going to be an exciting finish all the way to the end for the middle school boys. And like you said last week, you missed the game due to sickness. We had 2.5 snow days last week.
Yeah.
We had a holiday last week. It was a tough week I'm sure for coaches to get their players. You're missing practices, games are canceled or postponed, and then you had to travel down to Martinsburg on the one day we did have a game. So, but all around, in that loss to Broad Fording, Brody Hauser had a great game. 3 3-pointers.
If he wasn't playing, we wouldn't have been even close in that game, because he hit those threes. That was momentum for us. I think we were down by 3. Well, we were winning. We were on a 4-0 run to start the game, but then Brody's threes, when we were down a lot, they really helped, because they got us momentum-wise back in the game for a little bit, and then the transition kind of finished us off.
But you guys will be ready for him next time, I'm sure. But, Brody, looking like R.J. Davis out there on the floor.
RJ
and I know
Davis.
He's a big UNC fan, so he likes it when I call him R.J. Davis.
R.J. Davis.
I don't know if he did the 3 goggles. R.J. likes to do the 3 goggles.
Yeah,
but I don't think Brody. I don't think Coach Roseman would let him do that. He thinks that's showboating, which I would agree. It's a little bit showboating, and it's really hard to do showboating when you're down on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
I think too. So, you guys back in action again, same as the girls. 5 games in the next 7 days, and so Jack, give the rundown here of your schedule here in the next week.
Well, we play Faith Christian Academy at 4:30 today at home, and then tomorrow at 2:15 we play Frederick Warriors. Monday home. We got 4 home. Yeah, 4 home. 4 home games
4
in
of
a
the
row.
5, just like the girls.
So CVCS on Monday. We play at 4:30, and then at Tuesday we play St. Joseph's Parish School at 5:30, and then Thursday we play at Heritage Academy at 5. So
exciting games coming up for you guys, and you'll have to make sure you eat well and sleep well to have all the energy for all those games coming up here in the next week, and it'll be exciting, particularly since 4 of the 5 are at home. So that's pretty exciting, and And when we're at home, you know what that means?
Yep.
They're live streamed.
Live
so
streamed.
if you can't make it out here to Shalom, go over to our YouTube channel, Shalom Streaming, and catch those games on YouTube. And you have a chance or an opportunity to see it. Even if you come to the game here, you can go home and rewatch it.
Yep.
So it's pretty exciting. So
we get most of our viewers from after the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of people go home and do you go home and rewatch your game?
Well, my dad does.
He does. He critiques it.
because he watches it there, then he comes home and watches it. So.
Yeah, that's great. But you're listening to the Shalom Sports Podcast with Jack and Juro, and we're here talking about basketball season here at Shalom. We just wrapped up the middle school teams, and now we're going to transition over to the varsity teams here and what our varsity basketball teams are doing on the hardwood so far here this year. We're kind of, I think we're past the halfway point in the season, maybe 2/3 of the way through. So lots of basketball being played and coming up. And so the Flames, 10-5 overall. I know at one point they were 500. So they have started to turn it on here in the last couple weeks. The varsity girls team, they're 5-1 in MDCC play and on a 4-game winning streak.
Yeah, they were struggling offensively to start versus the Mountain Ridge, and then they really picked it up. They've really picked it up in the last couple games.
Yeah,
so.
Goretti twice, and so I know that competition, but I think that makes them better too. And now they're starting to put it all together. So they've had 4 games since our last podcast, Jack. So give a wrap up of what's happened in those games.
So they beat New Life 45-15. 9 ladies scored in the game for the Flames, and led by Maya Lehman with 11 and Addison Adams with 8. And then Monday, they beat Fannin Meadow 62-44. Addison Adams had 18 points, and Maya Lehman had 16. Emily Reebok with 11. Flames had 41 rebounds.
That's insane, man. They were rebounding like Dennis Rodman out there,
Dennis
apparently.
Rodman, yeah.
For those, maybe the younger folk. Do you know who Dennis Rodman is?
Yeah.
He's an
Bulls,
older player,
yeah.
but yeah, he was the rebounding machine.
Yeah,
but
rebounding.
Three players with double-digit points, so that's excellent for the Flames.
And then Thursday, they beat Faith Christian Academy 55-15. Maya Lehman with 13 points, Madison Moretti with 9 points, and Emily Reebok with 8 points. And then Broadfording, they beat Broadfording 42-33. That Fanta, she never got going in that game.
She had a tough game. Yeah. I think we put some pressure defense on her. And
I'm not sure she was 100% healthy because her legs, like she was limping kind of.
Yeah.
So not what they saw in the Broadfording the game at Broadfording, but in the playoffs, looking forward to seeing her healthy.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure she knows that she could have played better. And sometimes you have games like that, and like you said, if there was an injury or maybe she wasn't feeling well. But Shalom took advantage and had a great team win that night, and that win actually
propelled them
into first place because of being tied with Broadfording record-wise because we beat them by more than they beat us. A couple weeks ago, that gives us the tiebreaker advantage. And Addison Adams with 13 points, Chloe Martin with 12. But I will say one of our, usually she leads this team in scoring most of the time as well. Maya Lehman had a tough game, picking up her second foul early in the first half and having to sit on the bench pretty much till the second half in that game. And so Shalom was able to play well with having her on the bench, which says a lot about the depth of the team, and that's
the Shalom teams are really deep.
Yeah, which is great and exciting. So not 5 games for the Lady Flames coming up like the middle school teams, but they still have 4, and again, majority of them are at home, 3 of the 4 at home. So Jack, tell the audience what's happening for the varsity girls in action here the next couple of days.
So they play Faith Christian Academy today at 6:45, and then they play versus the Frederick Warriors tomorrow at 4:45. It's the senior recognition night.
5 seniors, I believe, on the team. 5 seniors.
Yeah, that's why they had to take it to Flames Frenzy.
Yeah, and so it'll be nice to recognize those seniors. I had the opportunity to help coach 4 of those 5 young ladies, outstanding young ladies, both inside and out. Great girls on and off the court. So it'll be kind of a little bit of an emotional night for me seeing these girls being seniors, having coached them as being an assistant coach on the team their freshman and sophomore years. But it's just exciting to see how far they've come and just to see what God has in store for them as they graduate here from Shalom later this year and see what's in store for them next.
Yeah, and then they play Monday CVCS at 6:45. That's the makeup from the January 16th game. And then Tuesday they play at Calvary Christian at 5. So.
Yeah, the long drive out to Calvary. They are on Tuesday, and unfortunately on Thursday when the rest of the teams are down at Heritage Academy, varsity girls won't be playing that night because Heritage doesn't have a varsity girls team, which is kind of disappointing. But it makes it for a little bit of a shorter night with only having 4 games instead of 5 at Heritage. But varsity girls doing well on that 4-game winning streak, so it's exciting to see what's happening with them. So we're going to briefly touch over the JV boys team here. They've had a couple games, just 2 games, I think. At least that's all that was recorded online. So they won at Faith last Thursday, January 18th, 50-21, and then this past Tuesday won in a low-scoring game against Broadfording, 32-24. So, Jack, what's happening at the JV boys here coming up this week? Next week?
They play today. They play Faith Christian Academy at 5:30. Tomorrow they play at 3:30 after us, and then the CVCS on Monday they have at 5:30 at home, and at Heritage Academy at 6. So 4 games coming up in this next week for the JV boys, and 3 of the 4, thankfully, here at home. So, again, you can catch them in action on the Shalom streaming YouTube channel. And that leaves one more team left to go, Jack. That's the varsity boys, and it seems like quite a few of our teams are on a nice winning streak. And so the varsity boys, 5-game winning streak that they're on, 10-5 overall, 4-1 in league play. And how did they done the last couple games since our last podcast? They beat New Life 66-33. That was a surprising game how much they beat them by.
Yeah, because New Life came in undefeated, I think, in league play in that game. So I think it's one of those nights. Did they have all their players?
Yeah.
Maybe they.
I think they were missing one person.
I think they were missing one of their players. It might be one of their better players that night. But sometimes it can go that way. Things are going your way for one team, and nothing's going your way for the other team. And sometimes you have those lopsided games. But I can assure you, I'm sure the next game when we travel down to New Life, I'm not exactly sure when that is. Or did we already play them?
No,
we didn't play them yet. Second time. So we have to travel down to New Life.
That's
I'm sure.
in Frederick, so.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be ready for us when we come back down there. So 2 other games that the varsity boys had since our last podcast.
And then they played at Faith Christian Academy. They won 69-33. And then this Tuesday they beat Broadfording 65-38.
Yeah, so.
And then they have 5 games next week.
Yep, 5 games coming up.
Basically the same as.
Yeah, 3 of the 5 on the road. 3 of the 5 at home, 2 on the road. So their next 3 games are actually at home, starting tonight, Jack. So when do they play tonight?
They play tonight at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, against Faith Christian Academy.
Faith Christian Academy. And then tomorrow they play at 6:15 at the Frederick Warriors. That's a homeschool league. And then Monday they play at home versus CVCS at 8 o'clock. And Tuesday they play at Calvary Christian at 6:30, and then at Heritage Academy at 7:15. Heritage is 5-1.
Yeah,
lost to Grace Academy.
Yeah, that kind of surprised us a little bit, but nice win there by Grace. I think winning by 2 or 3 points against the knocking the undefeated league play Heritage Eagles with their first loss. Yeah. So, it'll be, again, another battle for first place down in Hagerstown next Thursday, February 1st. So that'll be an exciting game to watch. I'm sure it'll be heavily attended, and I just love watching Heritage and Shalom. Unfortunately, I can't be there that night, but man, they've had some phenomenal basketball games. Their last 5 or 6 games, I know,
have been really competitive.
It's been just fun basketball to watch.
I think Heritage probably has a little bit. Shalom's probably like 1-4 in the last 5 games.
Is that what it is? Yeah,
probably
I know.
something like that.
Yeah,
so
Heritage.
Heritage has definitely been consistent with beating Shalom in the last couple games.
Yeah, have an outstanding coach, the Eagles do, and Mike Kidd. He's been coaching forever and doing a great job with his players, and so it'll be another battle down there in Hagerstown next Thursday. So exciting games. So lots happening on basketball. Lots coming up. It's an exciting season. We've kind of hit that. I think just with some snow outs and some postponements, it caused a full schedule here, with 4 or 5 games in the next week. But as a player, you don't mind, do you, Jack? It's fun. The games
really
are the fun
exciting.
part.
The games are really fun.
Yeah, you need practices, but they're not quite as fun as playing in the games. So I think that's all we have. I think, Jack. We've kind of gone over everything.
Yeah, except the email.
Oh, yeah. So We have Shalom streaming at shalomca.com is our email address. If there's a question you have for us or a topic you want us to discuss, just email us at Shalom streaming, all one word, at shalomca.com. We'd love to hear from you and answer your questions. Yeah, it'd be fun answering questions. So hit us up on the email. And also, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, Shalom Streaming, go ahead and hit the like button. I think we're 13 away. I think we're getting really close to 1,000. So
we were on the uphill streak for like 815 to like 980, and now we're like slowing down.
Yeah, it kind of plateaued a little bit.
Like the 2 days. We'll get there. For 3 days, I think we've been in the 980s. So
yeah. So
not 1,000, but really close.
We're super close. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll get to 1,000 here eventually. So it's been a great basketball season so far. I've enjoyed doing the podcast with you, Jack. This is a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it as well as we bring you up to speed here, what's happening in the sports seasons at Shalom. And right now we're in the depths of basketball season, which is always an exciting time. And the Flame Frenzy tomorrow, just a great day here at Shalom.
Besides Dutch Fest, the second best thing at Shalom.
Second best thing, So it'll be great. We'll get to recognize our senior girls tomorrow. And so that's going to be exciting and just a fun day of basketball. And come out early for the breakfast.
Yeah, the breakfast.
Pancake breakfast, supporting the mission trip for the class of, it's the sophomore class.
2026.
2026?
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, so come on out early, have a good breakfast, stay for the games. It'll be an exciting time here at Shalom.
I heard Gavin Breckbill's mom is making the food, and
that's gonna be good.
You gotta come. You have to come.
She's an excellent cook, and maybe she'll have some whoopie pies for breakfast too. She does an outstanding job with whoopie pies.
Whoopie pies and cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls for Dutch Fest. Oh man,
top notch.
They're so good.
Yep. So, all right, we appreciate you guys listening. Thanks for helping me out, Jack.
Yeah,
it's always been
welcome.
fun, and I look forward to our next time. Fortunately, I won't be here next week, so we might have to find another time because with all these games going on, I don't know if we can go 2 weeks because that would be a lot to cover in one episode.
Yeah, it'd be like 45 minutes long.
So we'll sneak in another time, and maybe we'll try to get a guest on too. Maybe we'll get like either our athletic director Murray Roseman or maybe a coach or somebody. So we'll try to do that as well. So. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Mr. Pacers, got your Pacers shirt on today.
Yeah, blue and gold.
That's right.
Yeah, we beat the 76ers last night without Tyrese Haliburton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Without your star player.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pascal Siakam did amazing, though. He had like 26 points. 10.
Can you spell that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pascal is his first name.
Okay.
And his last name is SIAKAM.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You're good.
Pascal Siakam.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Flows right off the tongue, doesn't it?
Flows right off the tongue.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Shalom Sports Podcast. If you enjoyed today's content, please hit the subscribe button. That will notify you of future content.